Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for November 7, 2023. And in the news this evening, search underway for missing British man in Ballard's Valley, St. Elizabeth. A search and rescue operation is underway to locate a 60-year-old British man who police say got lost during a nature walk in the Ballard's Valley area near Junction, St. Elizabeth on Sunday. The man is said to be diabetic, arrived on the island on Friday, and was reportedly staying with his brother. The senior citizen reportedly told the relatives that he was going for a nature walk. The news understands that he last communicated with relatives about 1 p.m. on Monday to say he got lost. All subsequent efforts to contact him have reportedly failed. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, said the citizens of Ballard's Valley, the Jamaica Defensive Force Airway, and the K9 Division are assisting in the search. We have always gone through miles of terrain, and the search is still ongoing as we continue our efforts to locate this individual, Minto said. Mobe Deputy Mayor calls for return of SSOE after students killed in Salt Spring. Rattled by Monday evening's slaying of 2 young boys and a man, the latest in a string of killings in St. James, Deputy Mayor of Montego Bay, Councillor Richard Vernon, is calling for the return of a state of public emergency. His appeal came during a visit to the Chetwood Memorial Primary and Infant School in Montego Bay on Tuesday morning, a day after 2 of its students, 7-year-old Justin Perry and 9-year-old Nakoliva Smith, were shot and killed in Salt Spring while on their way home in a taxi. 26-year-old Tevin Hale, a laborer from Salt Spring, who is alleged to be the target of the armed thugs, was also shot and killed during the incident. The use of SOEs as a crime-fighting tool has long been controversial. The government insists that they work. However, the opposition and the sections of civil society have argued that they are ineffective and trample on individuals' rights. While the government is allowed to declare an SOE for an initial 2 weeks, it needs a 2/3 vote in both houses of parliament to have the measure extended beyond the initial 14 days and for up to 3 months at a time. Vernon was firm in his stance that one is needed in the parish. You call a state of public emergency when you have an unprecedented situation, and our particular unprecedented situation is a culture of crime. It is not something that happened suddenly, it happened over time. A culture is built over time, he told the reporters. A state of public emergency would be useful to bring the situation under control, but of course, it must be properly monitored so that there is no breach of human rights, because that is the major concern, he explained. Like his peers within the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, the deputy mayor said there is evidence that this and similar types of security measures can reduce crime. I believe that Mount Salem is a good example. Even though we have had several flare-ups over the past 2 years or so, it is still a good example. Because what obtained before the state of public emergency, then the zones of special operation, is significantly more egregious compared to what is happening now, he insisted. Vernon bemoaned Monday's attack. Just to think that there is a conflict and the best way to solve the conflict is to shoot up public transportation, that is a terrorist act, the deputy mayor stated. In addition, Prime Minister Andrew Holness condemned the killing of the 2 students, asserting that violence in all its form is absorbent and must be strongly punished. When violence touches our innocent children who have their entire lives ahead of them and robs our country of their potential, all of society must stand up and say enough is enough. Man killed in Mount Salem 48 hours after curfew ended. Gunmen shot and killed a 34-year-old man in Mount Salem, St. James this morning, just 48 hours after a curfew ended. Mount Salem remains under a zone of special operations, which brings increased police and military presence and the social service providers. This morning's shooting occurred at approximately 9 a.m. The deceased Sanjay Rankin from a Crawford Street address was reportedly transporting sand in a wheelbarrow near his home when he was shot. He was employed to a popular restaurant and entertainment center in Montego Bay. At least 3 residents have been shot over the last 3 weeks, forcing the police to restrict movements in the community. 5 shops destroyed in fire at a Forum fishing village in Portmore. Fire destroyed 5 shops at the Forum fishing village in Portmore, St. Catherine this morning. Details including the cause of the blaze are unclear. "At the grace of Father God made me never sleep in the shop last night," said bar operator Tanisha Scotland, who said she left the area around 2 a.m. Scotland said she was at home when she received a call about 7 a.m. alerting her to the fire. "Me lose everything, nothing no left," she said. She appealed for assistance. Last year, a fire destroyed 12 business establishments at the location. Woman found in company of escapee on murder charge pleads guilty. A woman found in the company of a man accused of murder and who escaped custody in June pleaded guilty to harboring a fugitive in the St. Catherine Parish Court today. The 32-year-old escapee also pleaded guilty to uttering forged documents. Denisha Bogle and the construction worker Kenneth Stewart, both from Spanish Town, were remanded until sentencing on December 5. A social inquiry report on each of them is also to be done by that time. The two appeared before Parish Judge Janelle Nelson Gale. In a targeted operation on October 10, the police went to Beacon Hill in St. Catherine and found Stewart at a house in the presence of Bogle. The two share a child. The police said Stewart tried to evade capture by presenting a birth certificate bearing the name Mark Harris. Both were arrested and later charged. Stewart was among 8 men who escaped the Black River Police Station lockup in St. Elizabeth on June 19. He will be answering to that matter in St. Elizabeth later on. Supermarket destroyed by major fire in Westmoreland. Westmoreland firefighters conducted a second cooling down operation at a supermarket in Savannah Lamar after a major fire on Monday night. All the contents of the supermarket were reportedly destroyed in the blaze. The news also understands that a firefighter, while battling the blaze, fell into the fire and had to be rushed to hospital. One clothes vendor who works in close proximity to the supermarket and who identified herself as Tammy told the news that she has been left saddened by the incident. "It's very sad this morning to see that everybody is out of work. The pharmacy, the supermarket, even we that sell on the roadside because we can't get to pack out," she lamented. "It was a horrible fire last night. When me come out here and see it, the fire tall up in the air. The fireman them a try go in the building. It was unbelievable. Me feel so sad. Christmas a come and the workers them out of a job. Them have kids to feed, Christmas clothes to buy. Only Father God can help. All know the fire can't cool. 100 fire trucks and the fire can't cool," the distraught woman said. Reports from the fire brigade are that at about 9:18 p.m., they received a call that a building was on fire at Lewis Street. 2 fire units were subsequently dispatched from the Savannah, Lamar, and Negril stations. The report stated that the building, which operated as a supermarket called This One, was constructed of concrete with slab roofing and 2 40-feet containers. All its contents were destroyed in the blaze. Adjoining premises were not affected as the firefighters were able to contain the blaze. The cause of the fire is presently undetermined and the risk and the loss have not yet been ascertained. Investigations are ongoing. Manchester family finds a dead man in front yard. A family from Bonita Way in Mandaville, Manchester, woke up to find the body of a man in their front yard Tuesday morning. The body, which was found after residents reported hearing explosions on Monday night, is believed to be that of Jerome Ferron, who is reportedly from a Grantham address in Clarendon. Information reaching the news indicated that around 8:07 p.m. Monday, residents heard loud explosions in the area and summoned the police. The police reportedly visited the area but did not observe anything irregular. Following a search, the police said no one was seen in the area. Around 7 a.m. on Tuesday, police said occupants of a premises on Bonita Way awoke and saw the body of the now deceased lying face down in their front yard and called the authorities. Police arrived and saw the lifeless man with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the upper body. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. 2 spent casings were seen at a section of Bonita Crescent, the police said. Man believed to be recording cops charged. A man who was slapped with obstruction charges after he allegedly used his phone to record law enforcers as they carried out their duties is set to return to court in December to answer to the charges. Kevin Malcolm appeared in the St. James Parish Court on Monday, represented by attorney at law Stacey Young. During Monday's hearing, the court was told that the statement from the corroborating officer, who is on leave, is outstanding, but that arrangements will be made to have it available to the court on Friday. The prosecutor assured the court that as soon as he receives the statement, he will forward it to the defense counsel. Presiding Judge Keisha Grant Price then scheduled the case for mention on November 14 and extended Malcolm's bail. The prosecution alleges that on July 25, officers were on foot patrol along Barnett Street when 2 taxi operators were observed operating contrary to their road license. Arrangements were subsequently made for the vehicles to be seized. During the officers' conversation with the drivers, Malcolm reportedly approached them with a cell phone as if he was recording. Malcolm was reportedly warned twice to stop interfering with the police, but ignored the warning and became disruptive. Officers reportedly warned Malcolm of the offense of obstructing a police officer from carrying out their lawful duties before holding him and escorting him to the Barnett Street police station. Malcolm, however, allegedly bolted from the compound after breaking free from the officer's grip. The officers pursued him but were unsuccessful. He was apprehended the following day and subsequently charged.
Audio